Okay, so let's talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. We just got a new look at the new film that is going to be coming out, which is going to be directed by Gareth Edwards, who is a director of Godzilla, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. We have Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, Rupert Friend, and a very, very interesting cast. Now, let's talk about this new Entertainment Weekly piece that just dropped and everything we just learned about this film that is going to come out next year. So before we get into it, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We are trying to reach 36,000 subscribers. We're about like 300 away from that. So definitely hoping to get there by Christmas. I don't know. Let's see. But let's talk about it. So Gareth Edwards starts this whole piece from Entertainment Weekly by saying, I'm allowed to say this now that we're on the other side of it, but we shot in rivers and these mangrove swamps. When we were scouting them, we saw poisonous water snakes, massive ones that we had to catch. We kept it quiet from the actors as they spent a whole day wading through the same area, and there were giant spiders that were poisonous and stuff on the edge of the trees. You just wouldn't point them out if you saw them. Just keep going. So they basically showcase some of these new photos here, which look absolutely incredible, as you can see right here. This is definitely getting me very excited for the film, as it looks like it's taking back to the basics. And that's something that they also talked about it, that they wanted to sort of have this feeling that we had from previous films where this wonder and everything lied. Now, of course, the box office for the last three Jurassic movies is definitely amazing, right? Each crossed over $1 billion at the box office. And those, of course, are the movies with Chris Pratt and also Bryce Dallas Howard. Now, we do definitely know that the 2022 Dominion installment, which brought back Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, and this is what they had to say about all of that. I can't speak for Universal, but it did feel like a new trilogy in a way. I'm not sure what their plans are, but it felt like the beginning of a brand new chapter in this franchise. To me, it's a giant love letter to Steven Spielberg and his earlier films. There are moments in this movie that remind me very much of Jaws. It's like little greatest hits of all those aspects of his films that I loved growing up as a child. It's essentially a little adventure odyssey across this island, survival story, really. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that little piece of context and that paragraph he just said with the greatest hits makes us think back, right, of Alien Romulus earlier this year, which was a big thing about why people didn't really vibe with that movie. They felt it was just sort of a pastiche of all these other films in the franchise and maybe even the genre. So I'm curious about what Edwards means with that, especially in a day and age when people really are hammering for something a little bit more newer, right? So something to keep in mind is that as well. So Johansson, Ali, and Bailey are going to be the new faces of Jurassic World. It apparently takes place 5 years after the events of Dominion, in which dinosaurs mingled with humans all over the globe, and now they're dying out. So it's going to be interesting to see where they want to take like this new story and what exactly is it going to be. Now, according to this, there is apparently a hope that the use of dino DNA that can create a life-saving drug for humanity as well. So Zora Bennett is the character that Johansson will be playing, who is being described by Edwards as a special ops ex-CIA type who is contracted by a company to infiltrate the region and extract the DNA from these monoliths. Now, she has a like brotherly love towards the character of Mahershala, who is named Duncan Kincaid and is like a very trusted ally, and he's basically like captain of the ship. This is what Edwards says. He's kind of like the Ahab of our movie. Bailey is a paleontologist named Dr. Henry Loomis, and he says he's out of his depth in terms of the military element of the mission. He's very comfortable on the digs and expeditions, but not the life and death risks that Kincaid and Zora are getting into. So I don't know. I'm very excited to see what this is going to mean for sure for all of this here. When describing these individuals and their whole hunt that they're going to be going on, he says it's that kind of triangle between three different overlapping characters. There's a lot of fun between the three of them that really popped out to me. It's less of a love triangle and much more of a competitive who's the alpha in the group kind of way. So very excited to see these go head to head. So according to this article, the curveball to the story, and this is actually written by the original Jurassic Park scribe David Cope, is that Zora's team receives a mayday signal from a civilian boat that capsized from an attack. So on top of pulling off this dangerous mission, the crew now has to worry about the safety of the Delgado family that is played by Manuel Garcia Ruflo and Luna Blaze, David Lacono, and Adriana Miranda. So there's a lot going on more than just this mission mission that they have here. Edwards goes on to say, obviously it all goes wrong and becomes a situation that you enjoy watching as a Jurassic fan. Once you're on the adventure, the film doesn't let go until the end credits. The enjoyment of it is in the moment-to-moment chase, escape, scare, horror, curveballs, and the whole plotting of the set pieces and the dinosaur moments. So like I said, I've been excited for this movie since it got announced. I think that them trying to do something different is exactly what we need to do, and it's something that I'm ready to see. I was a fan of Edward's last film, The Creator. I thought it had some very amazing shots and moments in it. I don't know about the whole movie as a whole, if I would rewatch it again. You know, that's just how I feel about it. And he finishes off the article by saying, Jurassic did lead the way with computer graphics, but I feel like we got lost along the way with the arms race to the spectacle. Jurassic actually only had just a few dozen VFX shots in it, and it's such a powerful film. So it's trying to go back to all those tricks and ideas that tease the audience, that create suspense and tension, that get you on the edge of your seat. I just want to create that feeling I had when I was young of being in awe of these things. And I gotta admit, I do believe that Edwards has a point there. I think that the latest Jurassic movies sort of escaped into a whole thing where more, right? Like you want to see these dinosaurs, more digital, more all of this, VFX, and at the end of the day, it can just cheapen it and not really feel as grand because they're just there, as opposed to really teasing and building them up like we saw in the original trilogy. So I'm excited to see what Edwards does here. I definitely will be watching this movie once it releases. Let me know what you thought about everything Edwards said here. What do you think about the movie? What do you think about the new shots that were shown? And are you going to be watching this in theaters when it releases next summer? I definitely do want to talk more about it as soon as we get a trailer. Tomorrow we do get the Superman trailer, and I'm excited to break that down with y'all. Today we have a video talking about the Superman teaser trailer for the teaser, and also the poster that released, which was a motion poster with a bit of a John Williams score to it. So a lot of things to discuss before the end of the year, and stay tuned, subscribe for all the things you love. I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe, stay positive.